Welcome to this video, guys. Been a long time coming, but as you can probably tell where I am now, I'm back at Chopwell for a bit of a blast around the trails here. It's been, well, about a year and a half since I was here last properly. I did come here January last year, and it was absolutely lashing down. I did one run down power line and give up. Shortly after that, with the weather being bad, didn't do much, then hurt my arm and it put us off the bike for a while, well, trail riding and stuff like that. So this is my first time out in, like I say, about a year and a half riding any proper trails. I'm expecting being rusty as hell. I've been riding my local woods and local places, and there's features there which I used to ride with confidence, which have get my arse puckering a little bit these days. So I've just got to start getting back into it now. So today should be an interesting day. So I'll catch you on the trails. Right, here we go. So just on the top section of Powerline Trail. Like I said, last time I was here, this was an absolute slop fest up. Now we've got a deer in front of us, hope the camera's getting that. Always a pleasure at Chopwell when you see the resident deer. There's the first little section done. Now we're heading on to top section of Powerline proper. Horrible little climb that at the beginning there. I hadn't noticed at this time, but my Garmin's constantly beeping at us. Basically what it's doing is just telling us it hasn't actually been set to record the ride, but I was too busy concentrating on the trail to notice this notification on the computer. Wow. Wow, there we have it, my first run down. Oh, God, gotta get my breath back. First run down Powerline in over a year and a half. Yeah, seems pretty good. I think got an alright pace on it. Right, getting breath back. I'll go and hit the lower section. What an idiot. I just realised I hadn't even set my Garmin to start recording the ride. So I was hoping to record my time on that first run, and I didn't. Never mind, I'll set it away for the second section and get a time on that. So for future runs I can see how my riding's improving. Right guys, about to drop into the second section of Powerline. This time I do have the Garmin recording, so I should be recording the time on the trail. It's always a mess, this bottom section. There we go. Bottom section power line done. Time to head back up to the car park.
So I went up to the car park. I was actually meeting up with a lad called Mark, who I've met through one of the local Facebook groups. First time ridden together, we headed up to do routes together. So Mark's ahead of me, so I was too busy faffing about sorting my camera and gloves and things like that.
Straight down, yeah. Oh, oh, it stinks, that mud.
So after doing routes, we headed on to the lower section. I believe it's called Marmite, and I can understand why it gets that name, because you're either going to love it or hate it. And today, it was definitely a hated day. The deep pockets of mud were just absolutely horrendous. It was really hard going.
Wow.
I really wish we hadn't even bothered with this section of trail with you.
Wasn't this bad last time I came around here? That bottom section needs to dry out a bit. Oh. Yeah, bottom section a lot nicer when that mud's not like sloppy in the bottoms. You can get through them easier. But all the way through I realised I didn't set my GoPro recording. I've been recording.
Yeah, field 2 of the day. Big section of 4 into 1, and I hadn't even set the GoPro recording. Now heading down through the drift pit, and this has changed a bit since I was here. Not that I knew the best lines to ride in the first place.
Oh, not a chance.
And that drop in particular has been built up a hell of a lot since I was last here.
I think the last time I rode over a drop off was probably about September 2022. I've gone off nothing bigger than a roadside curb since then. Well, oh. No, I just thought I'll have it right into it. And them ones, it looks a little bit intimidating, but
in this drop in particular, you know, a year or so back, I would have done absolutely no problem, but yeah, it took a little bit of courage building to actually commit and do it, but in the end, easy.
Easy.
Second run at it without any issue. I hadn't actually intended on hitting any drops or anything like this today. As I say, it's been a while, but my confidence was a little higher than I expected.
Fancy the big one?
No, not for me.
No. Right guys, so just back at the car park now, been out a bit of a breather. As you'll have probably seen on the footage, that's if I recorded it, because I've had a terrible habit today of not turning cameras on and Garmin's on and things. But I've just been doing a bit of riding with a lad called Mark, who I met through the Facebook group. He's had to leave now, so I'm just going to have a bit of a potter about by myself and head back down Powerline, and this time have my Garmin on so I can actually record some times on the Garmin, and then we'll just see how that goes. So I'll catch you in a minute. Right guys, so here we are. Heading back out onto Powerline this time. Leave the cameras rolling. I've got my Garmin recording. Not going for any crazy times, like I said. Been a while since I've done anything like this, but been up and done a couple of bits of trails. Bike's performing well. So in Powerline now and see how we do.
If you watch closely on the right hand of the screen, there's a black dot appears in the picture. This is a sign that GoPro is about to glitch out big time. And this is literally the footage I got for the rest of the run.
Just come down Powerline top section again. It's only the second time I've been down that today, and obviously the run earlier on today was the first run down there on a proper trail for, I'd say, a good year and a half at least. As I say, the last year and a half I've not done a lot on the bike. It's been more non-technical, sort of flat level park rides and cycle routes along the coast to coast, up the Beamish and along the Roper and things like that, because riding the rough techie stuff was just uncomfortable with me where my arm was at the time. So back out, test myself today. Expected being really rusty. Yeah, stop recording there because I have a few people come by. But yeah, as I was saying, oops. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I feel reasonably confident on the bike, to be honest. After not riding anything techie and rough for about a year and a half, I thought I would have been nervous on some of the features and all that. I mean, I know Powerline's not the most challenging trail going, but I was still I think hitting it with reasonable pace. I wasn't holding back too much. As you'll have seen in the video, I've also been up on routes, and we did, I think, the trail what they call 4-in-1, which took us down through the to the bottom in Drift Pit. Drift Pit's changed a little bit since I was last here. A couple of new drops in, a couple of the older ones being altered a bit. So I did have a go on one of their sort of moderate drops. First drop I've ridden in years. The last thing I rode was no bigger than a sort of footpath curb sort of thing. So yeah, it was interesting going off a drop which was about knee height or something like that, which, you know, to a lot of people that's nothing, but when you've not been on the bike for a while and your confidence isn't at the highest, yeah, it was a good little achievement for today. I'm actually quite pleased with what I've done. So now I'm going to get back on the bike, which fell over, and ride the bottom section of Powerline and then see where we go from there. Right, just thinking, trying to get my bearings again. It's been a while, obviously. Yeah, I think I'm going to go back on myself and go at the top of this section here, because I do remember this here is the exit of some bits of trail I rode the other year, and yeah, I wasn't planning on riding those today because they are kind of steep and techy. But yeah, I think I'm going to head up there and give it a bash. Like I said, I'm feeling a lot more confident than I thought I would be riding the trails, so yeah, I think I'll give it a go. On the plus side, I do think there's a couple of lads knocking about, so I'm not totally alone if anything were to happen. There's a couple of lads I bumped into earlier. It looks like they're sort of sessioning these sections here anyway, so yeah, I'll bring it back when I'm at the top of them trails. Come to where those trails are, just having a bit of a walk on a couple just to see what's what again. So I think I'm going to ride this one which enters into the woods further on. There is a way into it here, but that's just stupid steep. Yeah, so there's an entrance further back there, comes along here, follows on through there. After there, I don't know how steep it gets. It probably does get quite steep. I'll head up on the top and have a look.
So at this point the lads I'd seen earlier were actually at the top of those trails, and said I could follow them in on a couple of lines they knew. Yeah, it didn't quite go to plan.
Oh, it's a tight turn.
Took a wrong turn.
So when I returned back to the top, I took one of the other trails I've ridden before. I wasn't 100% sure if this one went into the sort of steep chute with the rock drop in the middle, but I soon found out it did, and today just wasn't a day when I was feeling brave enough to ride down that steep section. And the camera just doesn't do this justice, but it is pretty steep and gnarly. Way above my pay grade at the moment.
Right, so as you were saying, I did go up to the top of those trails. There was a couple of lads were there. I followed them in on a line. Yeah, a bit of a wrong turn scenario and everything. Headed back up to the top, and I rode a trail which I've ridden before. I knew it was going to go into a steep area, but I thought I'll just give it a go. I'll have a roll into it and see how I feel. But as soon as I took that turn into the sort of steeper bit, I just knew I wasn't feeling confident enough to take it. Halfway down that steep bit there's like a rock drop which you can ride round, but honestly not today. I need to get a few more rides under my belt in places like this. Oh, and the GoPro's glitching. I don't know what was going on. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I didn't feel the confidence to ride into that bit of trail, so yeah, just going ahead, have a bit mooch about and see where it brings us. Well guys, that's it, back at the car now. Yeah, been here since like about 7 o'clock, 20 past 7, something like that. It's now 10 past 12, so yeah, I've had a good session here today. Time for a bit of lunch and head home. Hopefully the footage I've got on the GoPro's okay. I did have a couple of glitches I noticed, and also checking I had the lens setting on linear, like a narrow mode, so hopefully I've got some decent footage anyway for the video. So hopefully get out a lot more like this over the coming months. Back to Chopwell, hopefully Hamsterley, maybe up to Kielder, and I've got some possible rides I want to do in the North Pennines, up like High Cupnick and things like that. So hopefully these all come off in the future. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.